So I am home from LA or Orange County, wherever. And yeah, so first thing, let me call out the elephant. I look a hot mess. Okay. I showed up last night at like 11 p.m., went to bed. I'm kind of just getting my life together again after being in a week-long, there's no other word to call it other than an intensive. It was an intensive. So anyway, this is like, I look how I feel right now. There is no faking it here, y'all. So I feel great, but I feel like I'm just going to do this today. And so yeah, thank you for your grace. And I just wanted to talk about something real quick, just to start off our week. I talk about this every once in a while, and I just want to make sure that, that we all understand how to gauge opportunities that we do or not, right? All right, so hello, I see you guys. Welcome back. Thank you, Deborah. So good to see you live. Oh, shucks. All right, so go ahead and put your comments in the chat. I'll swing back around here in just a bit to put some of you up on screen. If you guys don't know, you can win things. Here's how you do it. You subscribe to the YouTube channel, my YouTube channel, comment on the YouTube videos, share the YouTube videos into social media. One person every single week is going to win something out of the swag shop. If you're like, oh my gosh, where's the swag shop? Like, what is this? Then what you do is you just go to withmartha.com, go to shop at the top, and there you enter the swag shop. So let me go ahead and get that off of the screen. Today, you guys, what we're talking about is how to know what opportunities to jump on or leave alone, okay? What opportunities to jump on or leave alone. So whenever I judge an opportunity come in my direction, the very first filter that it goes through is this something my people need? Okay, that's the very first thing. Before I answer any other questions, none of it matters if it isn't relevant to my people, okay? And so if you're watching this and you don't know who your people are, that's your very first thing in business, period. Okay, so if you don't know who your people are, or you think your people is everybody, I understand knowing that what you sell or what you offer can work for everybody. I understand that. But your problem with that, and I'm going to say your problem, typically I'm not going to call out people's issues with their business like publicly, but this is a big problem. So if you think that, you know, everybody is your customer, your problem with that is that you're never going to get your messaging lasered in, okay? Nobody's ever going to know that you're talking to them, and while your product can serve everybody, no one is going to know that you're actually there for them. No one is going to know it. So a lot of times people will try to run their own personal brand. So any at-home business, any network marketing business, any, you know, coaching, consulting, creating courses, stuff like that, like that's the at-home business. That's when I talk about at-home business, that's what I'm referring to. Whenever any of those at-home businesses are essentially personal brands, or they should be. If they're not, you've got another issue, okay? But they should be personal brands. And so a lot of personal brands, they look to these really big brands and they try to emulate the big brand because they look at them, and I think the line of thinking is this. I think that they look at them and they say, oh, well, they're like, you know, so successful, and so I need to match my marketing to them. I need to do things like they do in order to be that successful. So you think, you're thinking success leaves clues outwardly. Here's the problem with that thinking is that those big corporations have lots and lots and lots and lots of dollars behind their marketing, their messaging, all of that stuff. And the reality is a lot of them would love to be in your shoes, would love to be able to run their business as a personal brand, which quite frankly, they should be anyway. But they would love to be able to be in your shoes. So don't emulate them. They don't even want to emulate them. Their job is real hard, okay? So what you need to do is you need to know who your people are, okay? So and let me get out of the rabbit hole. So who are your people? If you don't know who your people are, if you go to my website, I have a really inexpensive training on what I call bat signal. It's determining who your people are. And it's determining who they are in such a fundamental, cellular way, right? Where you are talking so directly to them that they can't miss it, okay? And so now we're gonna move on from that because that's not the topic at hand, okay? So the topic is how to know when an opportunity is for you or skip it, for right now anyway, right? I don't ever say skip something forever unless it's illegal, but I say skip it for right now, sometimes. So you need to know who your people are. First question is this: does this serve my people? Does this help my people, right? So that's the very first question. Next question is this: is it something I can weave in to what I'm already doing? Okay, so does it help my people? And can I weave it in to what I'm already doing? Okay, and when I mean weave it into what you're already doing, does it make sense? Like if you've got courses that you've created, does it make sense to add it into that as a, oh, by the way, this is going to help you so much with this course. If you want to do this, here you go, makes sense, right? Or in your coaching and consulting, oh my gosh, here's this thing that I just found. This makes sense with this. You know, if you, like in what you're teaching or in what you're consulting on or coaching on, this is going to be really good. This closes the loop, so to speak, on you really being able to crush this. It's an additional thing, but just so you know, here it is, right? This is what I run all opportunities through, okay? And so whenever you have those two things lined up, you're pretty much going to be like, okay, that is something to go ahead and bring in to what you're doing. Now, if an opportunity comes along and it doesn't make sense to your people, but you're like, but it's a really good opportunity, that's what you need to be aware of, okay? If you can't figure out a way to weave it in and have it make sense to your people, leave it alone, because what it's going to do is it's going to take your focus, which is right here for your people, helping your people, and it's going to go, and you're going to like, your mind is going to go here and then here, instead of all right here. This is just an addition to it. Does that make sense, you guys? If there's not a way, I'm going to say it again, I'm just going to keep saying it. If there's not a way for you to weave it in to what you're already doing, guys, leave it alone. It's going to create so much dissonance in your brand and what you do. It's going to create so much confusion in the minds of the people that you serve. They're not going to know what you're really doing here, right? Like, what are you really doing? They're not going to know, and they're going to get confused, and confused people go away. Confused people go find clarity somewhere else, okay? So beware of confusing your tribe. Beware of confusing them, guys. If you confuse them, they'll go away. There's no joke there. And that's also whenever I say you need to know who your people are. If you don't have a focus on who your people are, you'll never have that tribe, because they're confused at the outset, okay? So imagine there's a big 50-acre plot of land, okay? And there are, 7 gateways to get into this plot of land. Like it's like you need to go to this address, but the address is back on the plot of land. So has anybody gone in the country on Google Maps, And whenever you're looking for an address in the country, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's pinned back here. I don't really know how you get there. That's like my sister's house. Whenever we go to her house, it's like the pin, we can see where her house is, but Google's like, I don't know how you get there. And we're like, well, let's find her driveway somewhere. But that's what it's like, right? Because you have all of these gates, you have all of these options, and people are like, I don't really know where I'm supposed to go. And then they're probably just going to go away, because if they don't even know that that pin is back there, it's kind of a bad example there. Pretend the pin isn't there. This is a great start I'm doing on my Monday morning. Pretend the pin isn't there. You have all of these gates, and then people are just going to be like, I don't know how to go in there. I don't know which one is right. I don't know, like, this doesn't make sense to me. Why are there so many? Does that make sense? And so then people are just going to get confused and go away. You guys, you have to have such a laser-focused brand of who you serve, where the gateway is one and the same always. And then whenever they come in, then they've got choices of what they can do with you. All right? The gateway needs to be a one, like, you come in this way. You come in this way. Once you're in, then you've got some options, but this is the way you come in. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense, you guys. Anywho, good grief. Oh, my word. You can tell I haven't done this for a week. So let me just say this really quick. If you guys are not in HBR yet, what are you waiting on, y'all? Go to Livin the Dream with Martha, to my Facebook business page. Message me the words, let's do this, rainbows and unicorns, whatever you want. You guys, if this concept of knowing who your audience is was like, oh my goodness to you, then HBR is like heaven sent, okay? HBR is all of the directives, all of the blueprint. It's all of the, here's how you do this thing. Here's how you create multiple income streams from home, serving the one person. Here's how you create your content strategy. Content strategy, guys, if you're not careful, can be very ambiguous and heady, okay? But the way that we do it, there's a system to it, and it all makes sense. And once you have it set up, then all you have to do is do a couple posts. You know, do a blog post, keep creating your content. That's all you have to do to keep the system going, the leads coming in, the people signing up. There's a system to it, guys. And I created the system because it didn't exist before. And so that whenever you're all done and it's set up, your job takes you 5 to 10 hours a week. And then the rest of the time you can spend with your family. The rest of the time you can spend going on vacation and doing what you want to do, because at the end of the day, you guys, we're all entitled to opportunity. We're all entitled to having options in our lives and not being forced to do anything, right? We're all entitled to this. And really, the first step is that you have to believe that. I know that it's the truth, but until you believe it, you can't take a next step. But the moment that you believe it, I got you. So jump into HBR because it's going up in price soon. Make sure you jump in before it goes up. And that is how you jump in. Let me see what you guys are saying. Thank you, Carrie. What you're saying makes sense even if it feels confusing to you. Good. I was like, I really feel like I have gone sideways. But yeah. Michelle, Mike and Cookie did great, didn't they? I love when it's the Mike and Cookie show. Sherry, love your earrings. Oh, shucks. Thanks, lady. Heather, this is exactly what I needed to hear this morning. Oh, Heather, I love hearing that. I love hearing that. Sarah, that makes so much sense. Awesome. There was a moment of detour yesterday, and I had to rein it back into focus. See? It happens. It happens, and you guys, it's always going to happen. It will always happen. Always, always, always. Wow, perfect sense. Well, I'm so glad everything made sense to you guys. I love that you guys cheer me on even when I'm feeling right inside my head. Even when I'm like, man, I just feel like I totally just, goofed completely. I appreciate you guys giving me the dap anyway. All right, you guys. Well, I'm going to pop out of here. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.